I'm Patrick J. Jones. I'd like to welcome you to my new course, The Power of Osmosis, epic female fantasy figure drawing from imagination. What? Is it possible? Yes, it is. This is a sample of that course, and we will take this idea all the way through in stages. So join me for 15 hours of magical drawing as we explore the possibilities of drawing the epic female figure from imagination. Follow along, listen to my insights, and draw with me, and you will be rewarded. Let's get into it. I call this stillness in motion, when we have a figure that is standing, and yet it feels like it's about to move. So there's nothing stiffer than a figure standing upright. It's only when we start to shift the weight of balance that we see some kind of anticipation of movement. Now, to get that magic happening, to perform that illusion of life, what we need to do is make sure the gesture is fluid. Now, there's two structures there. Because they're off balance, they appear already to have some kind of movement to them. We imagine those two forms, the upper torso and the lower torso, are moving around. So right away we get some kind of fluid motion. And we bob the head on there to get balance. Now when we get balance like that, it's like we're not going to move. We need to bring within those structures a link of gestural fluidity. So linking the structure with gesture, and that beautiful turn right there, going into the navel, out for abs and back in again, is uniquely mileage. Haven't done it many times. I don't have to go and study a figure from the side to do that anymore. It's just there. The little pinch for the pectoralis, and all those little moments, all that mileage coming together to give us the freedom to draw from imagination as we have here. So the animated part, how to make something stiff look like it's about to move. Well, this helps the pinches. We can imagine things being pinched because of movement. So the pinch of the rib cage against the obliques is a great start. Now, if everything's gestural, it's all too wobbly. I want to bring some structure into this. That's straight on a curve for the biceps femoris at the back, and also for the rectus femoris at the front. The little ice cream cone from the side now. And there's a straight on one side, and there's a tendon on the other. So tendons are incredible. And there's a curve and another curve to complement both straight on the front of it. Anatomy comes in now as a simple idea, that malleolus of the ankle. Very simple, but giving us that upright feeling of stability to that leg. So the bones are keeping us stable. The anatomy is attached to those bones, giving us the ability to be strong and to move with great grace in some cases, not always. But it's there for us to be this hydraulic thing. Now, if you look at machines, they're based on figures. Praying mantis, for instance, is the basis for those big arms you see on hydraulic trucks, big claw trucks. Now, what makes the figure look animated is when we start to bring those limbs off of the structural post, if you like. Let's call the entire figure here a post that has stuff that comes off of it. And here this leg is coming off of those hips. Now notice where the leg comes from. It comes from 3 fingers down from the crest hip. So the bottom of the belt. And then that little curve, that beautiful little tendon will give us a great moment where the leg inserts, but not looking as if it's a piece of building material that sticks onto another thing with glue. It actually has like a piston and a hydraulic attachment to this form. So a little bit of ghosting back when your pencils start getting a little heavy, and you have a second go at this to make it even more beautiful. The upper breast longer, the under breast shorter and more gestural. Feeling that little head coming up quite aloof. So all these little tiny moments will give you a quirky character. The idea that she's quite snooty, her nose in the air, her eyes closed, she's looking down her nose there at whatever is displeasing her. And now these little tubes become more sophisticated. That tube now has tricep height to it and a pinch at the pectoralis. And now down again to explore anatomy. Rectus femoris playing against the biceps femoris at the back. So the bones name the muscles. Both those muscles are on top of the femur, the femoris. A little maverick finger coming in at an angle because it shares a carpal with the ring finger. Index finger, another maverick. Those two will give your hand lots of life. Now notice how I changed the arm, and putting the hand on the hip give me that ability to make that change. What a wonderful thing. Now what's it all for? It's all in the service of being able to draw, as we always wished, without the mechanics. So I'm going to place the mechanics in the background, the structure, let's call it, of my subconscious, and draw with gesture and rhythm, and pull out those structural elements where I need them. I haven't totally finished the Liberty Bell there. Of just one side, and over to the other when I need to link those two things. This leg's coming forward, so I'm aware that the distance between the iliac crest is shortened because that rectus femoris has a height to it. And now all the beauty that we've learned through all the mileage coming together for me to say, I'm going to twist this figure now. I've got the fulcrum, the hips, and therefore I can do anything I want now that the figure is grounded. So I'm going to push that bar of Mr. T at the shoulders to a big tilt, and then take the longer bar of Mr. T down to Mrs. V and create a beautiful turn. The rib cage is going into the body and then popping back out at the lower abs, like a child would do. So this is a joyful drawing. I haven't measured heads. As long as we have that hip and that torso where we want it, we can make the leg shorter or longer. And with the T turned to the angle it is, I can follow that with the breasts because they are chasing gravity. And now I can go back into the simple and make it more sophisticated. The hips going in at the pubic bone and pushing back out again at the great trochanter. What a winner that always is. So I'm enjoying drawing this little thing with all the mileage in place. And you can break the rules. Pull the arm down there before I put the hand in. You can do anything you want once you have it. Have all this stuff. And that's the wonderful thing about mileage, is that it is something you can call on at any point, no matter what you're doing, and make a change. Making that little break there for the upper arm and going straight back over to the other side. Now you can see the breast is getting pinched at the pectoralis, and so we have that little puff. And so those two guys live together as a lovely little moment. And on the figure on the left, the arms pulled back, that little puff is stretched out a little bit. Now bringing the head below the T, and tilting the head will always give you more character. A little tilt will show a character is thinking. You can see I always go broad to find the eyes and the eyebrow at the same time. Brachioradialis. And now place the hand in on the hips and get that beautiful little hand. So we're basically looking at what's on the left in more perspective as far as the hand's concerned. The upper top of the hand is more shallow. I put the index and the little finger in as they're important. And now the eyes go in. And we're in perspective of the head turning down, so the bottom lip is very close to the chin. And a little hairstyle. And we have beautiful gestural moments to complement the pose. So the holistic idea is that everything in the figure is complementing everything else in the figure. And the hair is a wonderful moment to go to see if you can get actually more quirk. There's nothing really more gestural than the hair. It has no structure to it. Well, I say that and pull it back again. It has some structure, especially a fringe. But generally we can do more gesture in there than anywhere else. And every once in a while, anticipate render. You can see that I'm ghosting those legs, massing all the shadow detail there. It's not the same as ghosting, but it has similar traits. It's making you look somewhere else because there's less contrast. So by massing those lower legs in shadow, we look up the figure to things that are more beautiful.